Hey everyone, welcome back to World of Warcraft Classic Anniversary and our Night Elf Priest. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Today we are looking to complete the Tower of Alphalax questline. That's where we're going to start with at least, and we are approaching the tower now. From there, hopefully we can head back to Ashenvale, where we've got some stuff to complete there as well to try to wrap up that zone too. I've got the tower up ahead. Let's get started.
I am listening.
It's good to see you again, Alindria. The strangest things have been happening around here, and I'm glad you showed up. It was very strange, Alindria. Everything seemed normal. Well, as normal as things can get around here. And then suddenly, there was a blinding flash of light from the upper room of the tower. Then came the screams. The cries split the air, and lightning struck the ground from time to time. What's going on?
Goodbye.
I see. Well, if what you say is true, then now is the time to strike. I believe Atherkis resides at the top of the tower. Be careful though. He is surrounded by many powerful warlocks, much more deadly than the ones you've faced before.
Dear not.
Right. Let us scale the tower. We did have a player, I think it was a hunter, move ahead of us earlier. It's very possible they could be up there right now. So we'll see if Atherkis is still alive. Hopefully he'll respawn pretty quickly, or maybe if we're lucky, we can get to the top before he's killed. Okay, yeah, there's our hunter friend. Everything seems to be alive on the inside. Let's get to work. Fighting against just summoners in general, warlocks and anything else that could summon stuff is always a pain. Looks like the hunter wants a group. I would be surprised if the hunter had this quest already at level 24. It's a lot to go through at that level. I don't know, maybe we just got here super late. Level 35 is kind of ridiculous, I suppose, for a quest that starts in Darkshore. we've got a really tough pull here. There's our hunter friend. Ooh. Oh, I should have told him not to pop. I should have told him not to get up just yet. Oh, hello. Athracus is here. This might not be a good time. Maybe if I'm lucky I can grab Athracus and just kind of drag him out. I'm not sure how the leashing is going to work, though. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to kill him either before our buddy gets here. Actually, if he doesn't reset soon, it looks like he's just going to die anyway. One too many Shadow Word Pains, I think. Yep. Whoops. Well, alright, he's gone. A journal page actually comes with him, which is interesting. It never ceases to amaze me how easily hatred can be used to bend people to your will. The orcs and trolls were easiest, their hatred of the Alliance making them willing subjects to hear the message of the Dark Strand. Do they have any inkling of the greater power they serve? That infuriating paladin, Delgrin the Purifier, has been poking into our affairs in Ashenvale Forest, while his lackey, Balthiel, spies on my tower, thinking his presence unknown to me. Delgrin believes us a minor threat, just another death cult, perhaps. Little does he know that we are but one of the strands of the Shadow Council. As a child, I was once told of an insect whose bite could kill with ease, though it looked nothing more than a fly, a speck barely worthy of recognition. It is the things you dismiss which will hurt you the most, left to fester. It's a cool little journal page there. Always keep forgetting about Mind Soothe. And how nice it is. I guess it can be resisted sometimes, though. Let's help him out. I feel bad that we've kind of like left him here to handle this by himself, which is, it's going to be too much. Alright, yeah, it looks like he actually... Which makes a lot of sense. He hasn't actually gotten to that point in the quest line yet. Alright. Well, they did help us out, though. They were a meat shield, I suppose, for us, as we completed our objective.
How may I help? Farewell.
With the death of Athricus, I hope that the demonic forces in this area will be driven back. I have no doubt that they will regroup and return, but then we shall be even more prepared to meet their threat.
Asha Fela.
For all the work that you have done, you deserve to be well rewarded. Return to Delgrin and tell him that Athricus Narasin lies stilled by your hand, and the cult of the Dark Strand is beaten and scattered. What do we got here? Really nothing special. The weapon will be worth something at least to vendor. Honestly, not that suitable of a reward, if I'm being honest. It's really not that crazy. I would have expected something a little bit more. Not necessarily a blue item from, you know, how crazy that quest line is, but, you know, those pants, you know, are nothing compared to these leech pants that we have, that we got from Black Fathom Deeps. And I don't know, I mean, I think you would expect to run Black Fathom Deeps before you even complete this quest in some cases. So there are a bunch of kind of examples of weird itemization like that you see. I felt the same way about Stonewatch Keep in Redridge. It's like you're going on this this really cool mission to infiltrate what is essentially an outside dungeon. It's such a, like, Stonewatch Keep is so cool in places that are like it. And the reward you get is, in some cases, it's either a green piece of gear that you could easily replace from a world drop, you know, not really any different there, or a profession, or you just get some experience, which just doesn't seem like a suitable reward for going on that quest. Yeah, I think in Classic Plus it would be nice to see, you know, even if, like, obviously new quests for sure, but even existing quests, it would be nice to see some, like, upgraded loot, depending on what it is. Because you should, you know, I think the whole point of Classic is to encourage getting together with other players to do something in the world that seems insurmountable, you know, by a single individual. And you should be rewarded for that. We're starting to get pretty close to Aberdeen again. And we're going to be doing quite a bit of traveling, I guess. We'll be flying to... I'm not sure what we should do first. I kind of think that, you know, Delgrin's over at Maestra's Post. That's a bit out of a way compared to what we actually need to do, which is to head over to the eastern side. So I can't remember if we had picked up the flight path in Ashara or not, but we're going to find out. And that's going to be where I'm looking to go, so that we can speak with Cainith Stillwind over at the Forest Song Shrine and collect our satyr horns for the quest that we picked up back at the Shrine of Asina. We actually ended up picking up that new tailoring recipe. I don't know if this would give us skill points or not, but I don't know. I mean, maybe the recipe will sell. I don't think we'll need it based on where we're at so far. I feel like it's still going to be, it might be a little bit of time before we start really digging into professions again. We are level 35 now, which is a forgotten about milestone because it is the level in which you can pick up artisan training for professions. Okay, yeah, we do have to lend the Talendris point flight path, so let's use that. So yeah, we are at the point now where we could push tailoring, cooking, and whatnot if we need to. But since we're only 5 levels away from 40, I want to hoard our gold for now. You know, I want enough for the mount, but I also want enough for dual specialization as well, which, if things haven't changed, I believe is still 50 gold cost, if I'm not mistaken. And that way we can actually, you know, switch between Holy and Shadow for the rest of the journey. I've always wanted to try the Smite spec, I guess. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It'll give us some more healing power too, so we don't feel like we're, you know, playing less than optimally whenever we're healing a dungeon. But man, am I excited about Shadow Form again. It's always such a special moment in every priest journey. still, I feel like I was finding myself asking this question on the Paladin as well. I don't really know what this Warsong Lumber Camp is doing here. I don't think there's any quests for Horde side, and I don't even know if there are any quests for Alliance side either. It's just a weird spot. I don't know. But I find myself being very unfamiliar with that section of the map of Ashenvale. Because I don't know what happens here. Could have been part of some like cut content, perhaps. Maybe. Alright. Get back into some action soon though. We'll speak with Kenneth. I don't know if we'll do his quest. He sends us down here, I believe, to take on some of the Forsaken that have inhabited the forest south of Splinter Tree. Is, I believe, where that goes. We'll see. We'll definitely do the Satyr Horns, though. Yeah, these Horde scouts are not even like flagged for PvP or anything. I mean, it makes you think that it must be an area where you can quest in. I can't imagine it not being, you know, used for something. Some very interesting music for Forest Song. I feel like it doesn't really match the vibe. I could be wrong. Is it just a bunch of ruins after all, I suppose?
I am on. Farewell.
Ah, Shindril's report. Many thanks, Alindria. Shindril is a fine sentinel, brave and keen. I must read this for clues of a wickedness I fear is moving through Ashenvale.
May the stars guide you.
Yeah, the quest is gray. I mean, it shows up as green, but
What brings you
it's a low-level quest to us. Do we want to follow through with it? I don't really know. I feel like we've addressed the biggest things in Ashenvale, for the most part. Some of the bigger quest lines. I think we've abandoned a couple of other ones too, though, so I'm not sure. But again, we're so far ahead, I just don't even know if it's worth it. Yeah, we'll just leave it alone. Let's see if we can get through the Satyr Horns and turn in the Tower of Althalax and then kind of wrap Ashenvale up. I don't believe I have anything else in my log that is related. Gotta go back to Ratchet at some point. This quest for the Baron's Port was following Valinda Starsong, I believe. The night elf that found herself in possession of the Scythe of Elune and tracking her steps. I'd like to follow that one too. Mostly just because I couldn't remember where it led. I know we took on some of this, like parts of this quest on the Paladin, the Iron Man Paladin, but I think we ran into like a roadblock at some point where we couldn't proceed, like as a single, you know, by ourselves at least. Alright, we've arrived in Satyr now. We've got some competition here. So we might have to move up to Xavian to the north. Potentially. But there should be enough to go around, especially if it's just the two of us. There's a troll here as well. Yeah, let's just move over to Xavian. Those guys are a bit low level for Xavian anyway. So they probably wouldn't come up this way. Probably be way more difficult for them. You have to remember that these are the guys that can full heal themselves. And we don't really have a way to stop them from doing that apart from Psychic Scream. We're just gonna have to hope that they don't get the casts off. Or maybe we'll spend a little bit of extra mana on an extra, you know, Mind Blast here and there. Just to make sure we get the job done. Ripping through these guys, but not a single one has dropped a horn so far. Which is a little strange. Like we would have gotten at least one by now. Just behind us, we can check out. And nothing special. Sanguine trousers, 9 spirits, 4 strength. Looks like garbage to me. Second pair of satyr horns. Nice. Yeah, this might take a bit. It's a nice, chill little grinding session, though. Kind of gives me a chance to think about what's coming next, too, because I have not thought about it too much. Stranglethorn probably makes the most sense. Start things off. We can kick things off with the Hemet Nessingwary quests. That should push us pretty far. Right off the bat, actually. Until level 36. And, yeah, I didn't think it was going to go down this way, but I think we'll end up doing the same thing we did with the Hunter as far as the Scarlet Monastery dungeons go. I think we'll end up just doing them all at once. But before we do that, we have to pick up some quests too. That are involved with the place. It might not be too much for the Alliance side, it might just be one or two. But yeah, I feel like level 36, 37, you could probably do Cathedral, especially as a healer at that point. I suppose I could actually find out right now. Look at the Cathedral. What drops off of Whitemane? It's level 39 stuff, so yeah, 38, 37 would, I guess, be passable. So maybe we could wait. Oh God, there's so many good pieces that drop off of the Inquisitor. Yeah, we might end up running Cathedral multiple times. So I don't know. Maybe we. And maybe we can do Graveyard and Library soon. Library is also really important. We're probably going to want to run that multiple times as well to make sure that we get, whatever loot drops. They're also both pretty short. Really all the Scarlet Monastery dungeons are very spammable and rewarding. Unlike stuff that we've already done already, like Gnomragon in particular, it's like a dungeon that you just kind of want to do once because it takes such a long time to get through. Even Blackfathom Deeps can sometimes be that way. Yeah, I'll consider Graveyard and Library soon. Graveyard has nothing for us, but we'll run it once just for any related quests. That's a hunter. Ooh, some random shoulder drops. Green color mantle of stamina. I don't think anybody's gonna want that, but we can give it a shot, I suppose. Stamina just by itself on a piece of cloth, I feel like it's probably not worth it for most people, but who knows, maybe for like a warlock it would be pretty decent. Didn't realize we hadn't killed that guy yet. Whoops. Yeah, the only reason you'd want something that has like pure stamina on it as a cloth wearer is if you're really trying to be in melee all the time, which I can only see maybe a warlock doing with either drain tanking or using that like special fire damage spec, that like melee fire damage warlock thing that I've seen going around. This resilient cape is pretty good though. 6 intellect. Mage would definitely want that. We are at 11 out of 16. 5 more to go. I was considering going over to Night Run to pick some more of these up just to see if our luck was better over there, but I think those are also a little bit, those Satyr are going to be at less level than what we're fighting right now, and we're already fighting enemies that are somewhat on the fringe of being gray to us and not rewarding experience. So I guess it's probably just better that we stay over here. Look at that, we've been here long enough for the chest to respawn. Two gold bars, actually not bad, I think. Those might actually be worth something. Go. Collected our satyr horns. And let's see if we can get out of here and get back to Maestra's Post and the shrine. Yeah, nothing back at Astronar. So I guess we'll just run back to Lendra's Point. We'll take the flight back. Warsong Outrider. Oh, come on. Because we put a Mind Soothe on him, we got flagged for PvP. Please. I feel like you shouldn't get flagged unless... I mean, I guess you should get flagged if you do CC somebody, you know, like if you sheep somebody. Yeah, you should probably be flagged for that, but like, Mind Soothe? Yeah, whatever. It's only 5 minutes, so... most likely won't matter in the grand scheme of things. We are flying back to Astronar, and while we do, I'm going to take a quick look at what the quests are for Scarlet Monastery, because I do have a little bit of extra time today, so we might be able to extend today's episode a little bit, just to simply pick up those quests. I know we're going to have to go to South Shore for at least one of those. I can quickly hearth back to Menethil, and I mean, we did SFK at some point, so we definitely have the flight path to South Shore. We could also explore the town a little bit, at least just for like the vendors, see if there's anything interesting. And that way, we'll be all set and ready to go to at least enter Scarlet Monastery Graveyard and Library. I'll save Armory and Cathedral for later. I think both Graveyard and Armory we're only going to need to run a single time each, because I don't think they provide any other loot that we really care about. Whereas Cathedral and Library both have things that we will want to run multiple times for if we don't get them. So for library, yeah, nothing off the first guy, but Arcanist Doan has a staff, which only actually has the same amount of spirit as we have now, but it comes with additional intellect and stamina and quite a bit of it. Robe of Doan. Not as good as the Sivanad robes that we got from Nomergon. Definitely cooler looking though, for sure. We've got Mantle of Doan as well, which also looks really cool, but also probably worse than what we have now. So yeah, we'll want to run it for the staff. That'll be our next staff upgrade. And then of course I'll check armory real quick. Yeah, Harad's not going to have anything for us. And then Cathedral has 2 pieces off of High Inquisitor White Mane, including our first real headpiece that we didn't, just buy off the auction house, and this necklace, which would be our first necklace. It would be insane if we got this too. I actually care more about this necklace than I do about the headpiece, if I'm being honest. Yeah, even this main hand weapon is interesting. 8 spirit, 15 spell damage and healing. We would need to get an offhand for that, of course, though, which I feel like is just so much more of a pain to acquire. I'd rather just get the staff from library. But yeah, we'll see. Stranglethorn is definitely... I think Stranglethorn will be the next leveling zone. But we may or may not do Graveyard and Library first. If I can find groups for them easy enough, then we'll do those first. If not, then we'll just go to Stranglethorn. Alright, so with the Alliance, we've got 2 Scarlet Monastery related quests. There's actually a third if you are a mage. Looks like there's a mage class quest that is involved. The quest that we care about the most is In the Name of the Light, for sure. The other one, not as important, Mythology of the Titans. We can take a look though and see where it's at. Yeah, you picked that up in Ironforge, which makes a lot of sense. We'll talk about those in just a minute.
What can I do for you? Be careful.
I knew you would be up to the task, Olindria. I sense great deeds before you, and that you will right many of the wrongs that plague our lands. Bear my blessings, Olindria, as well as this gift. Take Seraph's Strike.
Light bless you.
And now we move on to the Shrine of Asina. Guess we have to backtrack slightly for that. Maybe I should have gone there first. Ooh, interesting. The quest that comes from Ironforge, the one that I didn't think would be as important, actually gives us a necklace. A green necklace, 6 stamina, 6 spirit, the Explorers League Commendation. Retrieve the Mythology of the Titans from the monastery and bring it to Librarian May Paledust. I have to assume that this is a book that will be in library. Let me see if I can confirm. Yep. The last room in library. That makes a ton of sense. Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, so that'll hold us over until we get into Cathedral. I'd still like the Cathedral necklace if we can, just because it has, you know, just amazing stats all across the board. But if we happen to not get it after a few runs of Cathedral, I'm not going to be super upset, you know, with the commendation that we can have instead.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Thank you, kind night elf. My sister's spirit is gladdened by your efforts. The absolute massacre that we provided to the satyr. All right, I think that's going to conclude our time in Ashenvale. Pleasure as always. We're almost level 36, which is still crazy to me. Let's hearth back to Menethil Harbor. And let's pick up these quests now, so that we have them. We will start with the one in Ironforge, because it's a little bit closer. And this way too, you know, because we have to go to South Shore anyway in order to run over to Scarlet Monastery.
Well met.
This way I can look for some groups when I am next online. And we'll already be in the appropriate area to run to the dungeon from. And then if not, you know, I can just fly down to Darkshire and we can get into Stranglethorn. Landed. Yeah, we can head over to the Hall of Explorers now. Which always seems to have all the quests in Ironforge. See a lot of different stuff here. Iron Man wants you. I'm going to be ignoring quite a few of these though for a bit. I think Reclaimed Treasures is probably for Oldemon, if I had to guess. We're going to pick up the Mythology of the Titans. I'm surprised this is marked as level 38. Because I'm pretty sure you only have to go into library to get it.
What's on your mind?
Which is interesting. The future is inevitable. We hurl ourselves towards it like falling raindrops to the great sea. But perhaps by studying the past, we can know what to expect and be better prepared for the unknown. Before dire troubles fell upon Lordaeron, there was a bastion of knowledge tucked away in the Tirisfal Glades. It is rumored that a book called Mythology of the Titans was housed in the library of the old monastery. Bring it to me, and perhaps together we can unlock the secrets of the past.
Watch your back.
get the South Shore. Yeah, so funnily enough, I was talking about how I much prefer to have a staff than a one-hander and an offhand, just because it's more simple that way. But the other quest for Scarlet Monastery in the Name of the Light, which is famous for its amazing blue drop items, particularly for melee classes like the Black Menace, for rogues, I suppose. Bone Biter, you know, a nice two-handed axe for rep paladins in particular, but warriors that also don't, you know, go after the whirlwind axe too early could also use it. For casters, all you get is an offhand, actually called the Orb of Lorica or Lorica, with 6 intellect and 11 spirit, which is huge. It's a lot. So if we do end up getting that main hand mace from Inquisitor Whitemane, you know, we can pair it with that. And that would be kind of cool. You know, if it's convenient like that, then I think I'm totally fine with picking up that combination. It's just when you have to like go out of your way to find an offhand usually, because offhands are just so uncommon, I guess. You know, I feel like typically most of the time you really need to buy one in order to match it up with whatever shiny one-hander you get. So we'll see how this plays out. All right. Let's take a quick look around. I always hate this with any quest add-ons. It always the Assassin's Contract quest, it's just sprawled all over your map. So hard to see anything else. What kind of vendors do we have here? Got a superior armor smith kind of hiding back here.
Greetings.
Everything's for mail though, which I guess is to be expected. What we're looking for is probably going to end up being in the tavern. Oh, we've got some trade goods over here.
Hey there.
What do you have? An enchant. A pretty bad enchant at that. +2 defense. Seems
Looking for something
not super helpful. Nothing from general goods. Got butcher. Not gonna get much from that. There is the quest for the Soothing Turtle Bisque. I actually kind of want to pick this up now. We won't be able to use this until 175 cooking. I mean, I guess we could, well, yeah, you know, let's pick it up now. Just in case by the time we get to it, it turns like gray or something. I just don't want to forget about the quest. If there's one thing you learn about South Shore, it's that we have some of the best cuisine north of Stormwind. Take my secret recipe for turtle bisque, for example. I've known folks to travel from as far as Darkshire just to enjoy a bowl. Speaking of which, I haven't been able to make any lately. I used to head up past Dalaran to take... Oh my god, I can't speak. I used to head up past Dalaran to Lake Lordomir myself to hunt snapjaws, but it's just too dangerous now. If you bring me some turtle meat from the snapjaws up north and soothing spices, I'll whip some up.
Safe travels.
Interesting that they point you, or that he points you to Lordomir Lake and not just like the river right outside of South Shore. But there's turtles all over the place. Not just here in Hillsbrad, but all over the shores of Kalimdor too. Alright, nothing from you guys. Nothing from you guys. I'm looking for the quest. I always thought it was this guy, Raleigh the Devout, that provided the quest. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I have to pick it up from somewhere else. Or maybe that's just, he's just like the guy that you turn it into. Hints of a new plague, no. We can turn this in with Loremaster Dibs first, I suppose. Ah yes, I remember Milton, a bookworm no doubt. Bless him. And he's right, the ruins of Alterac still hold stores of knowledge in danger of being lost. Ogres now dwell in Alterac, and they don't care much for higher learning.
Go with honor, friend.
This is gonna send us up north, so we'll leave it alone for now. Yeah, maybe I went to the wrong place. Let me look this up real quick. Raleigh the Devout. Syndicate Assassins is not going to work. At level 35, I'm pretty sure we could pick this quest up. If I'm not mistaken. I shouldn't really have to wait. Oh, wait. Oh, there's prerequisites to this. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna have to think about this some more then. I'm not sure if I want to do this or not. So we're definitely not getting this today, but it has been a while since I've done this quest for the Alliance in particular. I remember doing this back in Season of Discovery on my Paladin, and I completely forgot about the parts of the chain that you need in order to get this. I mean, part of this sends us to Desolace, which is not a place I was planning on going to, and I know where this place is in Desolace as well that we need in order to kill a bunch of undead Ravagers. Ooh, that is it's a tough call. So I'm gonna have to think about that some more. The only thing that we do get from this quest is, like I said, the offhand, which we're not even guaranteed to use, because we need to get a main hand as well, which would come off of none other than Inquisitor Whitemane from Cathedral. So I don't know, I'll think about it, but I think that's gonna do it for me for today. I think today dragged on for a little bit longer than I was expecting. But as always, I appreciate you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.